fucking crazy, bro. No.
What's
up with your man? What's up with your man?
If boxing politics didn't continue to work in a way that pushed away the casual fans who already think that boxing is rigged, if boxing politics didn't work in a way that make those hardcore fans who still tune in every week also feel disappointment and the need to step away from the sport, Lamont Roach would have walked out of the Barclays Center on March 1st, a double division WBA champion of the world. Instead, he walks away with, yes, fan validation, and probably felt really good to hear the fans booing Tank as he made the excuse of hair grease in his eye. But I don't think any amount of fan validation could compare to hearing and the new and on paper defeating the star of the division and a pay-per-view star who you were there to basically be a sacrificial lamb to. And even though, boxing fans, hardcore and casual, and especially, me and a lot of people in the boxing media, we are no strangers to weird decisions or controversial moments in the ring. However, with this being a huge fight, with Tank having intersectionality of different, cultures and he has now become that meme that he didn't want to become. I mean, they even made a song.
Bullshit. Like, this is real facts. Like, this is real facts. I'm bored, like I said, bullshit. Like, this is real facts.
Like, the man has now reached Broner levels of online virality.
Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. I beat him.
And even though, that particular call of everybody feeling Lamont Roach, the ref, the commission, the judges, because even if Steve Willis didn't want to call it a knockdown or didn't want to give that a knee, count the knee as, taking a pause, the judges could still very much have made it a 10-8 round. So someone who was there and covered all of Fight Week, seeing Lamont Roach's, approach and seeing how confident he looked, really did change my perspective on how the fight was going to go. But I don't think anybody in that sold out Barclays Center, at least most people probably thought the same thing was going to happen, where Gervonta knocks out his opponent and then he jumps off the ring ropes and has a viral picture. So as someone who covered the fight, I really wanted to talk about it and my perspective on the fight. And before I get too ahead of myself, which I think I already have, if you're new here, hi, my name is Lily. I'm an independent boxing journalist who sometimes gets on here and yaps about whatever's going on in the sport or fights that I've covered and offer my perspective on those things. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and you can become a boxing bestie as well and have access to exclusive content, exclusive Fight Week interviews. And if you don't enjoy the yapping, you can also just enjoy the interviews, but please turn on notifications and share the content and show some love, please. I also want to take the time to thank Matt Brown from Brunch Boxing, because he's writing a story, the only journalist covering the New York Athletics Commission, basically patty cake of an excuse as to why nothing happened on fight night. Because even at the press conference, when media was asking, the fighters, the trainers, nobody seemed to know why there was no point deduction, because the media doesn't talk to the commission or the judges or the referee, which I would love to have access to them, right? Not just the fighters. So no one seemed to know why it wasn't ruled a knockdown. And I know I've seen people floating around a AI Google generated, like, a knee. It can be, doesn't have to always be a point deduction and blah, 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 blah. No, guys, like, I know we want to make mental gymnastics for someone that we're used to seeing break somebody down. And especially if you believe his excuses, it might be hair grease. I go to the gym, and when I'm sweating, it gets in my eyes, whatever hair product I'm using, that burns. But it doesn't matter, my bro. Like, I think boxing is a sport where everybody knows there's no timeouts. And if there is, it's because you're hurt. And yeah, if you take a knee, it means you're Even if you're not hurt, in Mayweather's case, which a lot of people have brought up, he was the one that got hurt because of landing a punch, and it was still a point deducted because he decided to take a knee. Taking a decision to take a knee implies I am choosing to take a moment to gather myself to prevent a knockout. And Tank basically confirmed that in the post-fight press conference.
But I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, But I didn't really know that you can, like, get disqualified for all that. Or, like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
So if you're admitting that you don't want to get knocked out, so you would rather take a knee, that's a point. That's the point deduction. Regardless of whether it was hair grease or that straight punch that landed right on your, above your brow or in your eye right before you took that knee. I personally think that it may have been grease that if Lamont was touching Gervonta's hair and any hair product was going into his glove and then touching with that punch, touch Gervonta's, eye while it was open, yeah, it burned, I bet. And I bet it continued to burn because, again, if it's if it's any sort of product or sweat, right? Like going into your, yeah, it's going to burn. So I don't not believe Tank when he says like he wasn't hurt and it was more of like, but him taking the knee and then getting up and going to his corner and then his corner going, over the ropes to wipe his face, his head, that is not a thing that should have happened and not a thing that should have just been left alone for the rest of the night. And we have to give all credit, respect, even apologies to Lamont Roach for all of us doubting him and most people thinking that he was going to get knocked out and be another one of Tank's victories. But instead, he was very patient, even when Tank was definitely trying to, play with him at first. Tank was moving a lot. We didn't really get a lot of action in the first couple rounds, but I don't think people minded because they expected a knockout. And even in, the middle rounds when, we got a little bit more interaction in between them and Lamont started catching with Gervonta with some stuff. Gervonta would still come back and land the better shots that had everybody in the arena standing up still. Even after a couple rounds followed where we still saw Lamont Roach pressing Gervonta and making him walk backwards and being, more distracted and feeling those shots. Like in a way I had never seen anybody back up Gervonta because yes, we see that he starts slow and Santa Cruz landed on him. Frank landed on him. Rolly landed some stuff on him. Gervonta gets hit, but never walked back in a way that he looks intimidated almost. So Lamont Roach proved that he belonged there and that he was up for the challenge, and whether people believed he was qualified or not, he gave it the best fight and the best effort that anybody else had, really. And at the time, I was at the arena, so, to us, it looked like a knockdown because we saw the right hand land on his eye before he, it looked like a delayed reaction knee. And I think Steve Willis, his initial reaction as a ref, and because this is his job, was started counting. And even when Gervonta got up and was, going to his corner, Steve Willis continued to count. It was until Tank was like, why are you counting? That he was like, wait, what? And that's when they're arguing in the ring, and then he stops. But even if you stop and let the fight go, I feel like that was a moment for them to, in between rounds, be like, hey, by the way, that was going to be ruled a knockdown. And like I mentioned, the New York State Athletic Commission later put out a statement claiming, technical difficulties basically prevented them from reviewing the knockdown in real time. But according to Brunch Boxing, Matt specifically in their boxing Twitter space, they said that was bullshit. Sources with firsthand knowledge of the situation basically told Matt that footage was basically ready almost instantly, like it usually is, because they put it on the screen. The officials could have reviewed it and they could have corrected the mistake, but instead, no, I guess. And I just want to say this, and hold people's hand when I say this, especially Gervonta Tank Davis mega fans, is that it doesn't matter if Gervonta was telling the truth or not about the hair grease. It doesn't matter if he was hurt or not, or if he was really hurt by the punch. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think Gervonta should have taken the decision, or if you think the fight was close, or if you agree with the draw. That doesn't matter. Because even though that image of, that AI Google generated image is trying to have people believe that it's okay, some occasions you can just not take a point deduction. There's all different situations that it did and have the context are much more reliable than this one. And like I mentioned, if the ref and then the judges and then the commission failing Lamont Roach led to him not claiming another title for his legacy, especially in a fight that had so much context of the Baltimore DC rivalry that they had, right? Because I'm telling you guys, in some moments you can cut that tension in the arena with a butter knife. Like, it was crazy. So when it's something like that, it matters, and we need to have more accountability by everybody involved in these fights. Because okay, Gervonta didn't have the night of his life, but that's not his fault that Steve Willis did that. Is not Gervonta's fault that the judges then didn't do anything about it. It's not Gervonta's fault. And I think again people are frustrated because just like Tank, there's no accountability from the New York State Athletic Commission. It's more of like excuses, which now, according to Brunch Boxing, are bullshit excuses, and we need a resolution. I don't think that Lamont Roach will get this decision overturned, unfortunately. I just don't think, again, boxing politics work that way. He is entitled to an immediate rematch. That was already part of the contract, which we saw, we heard them confirm in the press conference post-fight, but also saw Lamont tell Gervonta, like, what do you mean you are pushing for the rematch? We already should have it's already in the contract. Because he felt that Gervonta was using this as like oh, don't worry guys, I'll take care of it. And I think it was more frustrating after seeing Lamont Roach being so dang graceful and just classy in the post fight, acknowledging that he was fighting against a superstar and you don't get a lot of leeway, but he wants to just run it back, right? He now at this point just wants to run it back. And I do like that there is, a lot of controversy on the fact that this happened and there's a lot of eyeballs, which means maybe we'll get some accountability. What I don't like is that a lot of it comes from a place of just hating Tank Davis. And that's fine if you dislike Tank Davis, but we should really advocate for the commissions and the refs and the judges to be on their A game and to really deliver on their job descriptions and not being biased or just because that's their job. And because it can happen again and it's going to continue to happen because it's been happening. Not just to Lamont Roach, who happened to, make Gervonta Tank Davis look human, but to everybody, even the undercard fighters who always get robbed. They deserve us calling this stuff out. Right? Because not all of them are going to get lucky enough to escape with a draw and maybe not have another loss. Let's advocate for these changes in general, not only because we want to bash Gervonta Tank Davis this time around. Finally, to end this video, I wish that Gervonta would stop tweeting. I think he reminded me of Shakur Stevenson. I remember being there and being confused of the scorecards, but when he kind of lashed out at the crowd, I remember thinking, he sounds like Shakur Stevenson, like making excuses for a performance that wasn't what he intended to have that night, and then later lashing out at people for questioning him, and then later getting on Twitter the next day and talking trash about, still about the situation, and then I guess fighting with the people and responding to the girl that braided his hair, who also responded to him saying that. And it's weird to me that people are trash talking her, like, oh, she's lost the bag, why is she clapping back, like she can't stay quiet, she won 15 minutes of fame. What do you mean, bro? Like, if he's claiming something that she did in her hair was, had an effect to him, had an effect on him 2 days later or 3 days later, whatever. People are gonna want to know what she's using, what kind of products is she using that may have that reaction on other people who are also active, right? So I think it's important for her to say, like, hey, by the way, no, I don't use this. This is what I use, and I don't know what is he talking about, and even be sassy about it, because he's sassy as hell himself, but she's gonna match his energy as a woman. I actually think both guys are also going to be better in a rematch because both guys have something to prove, which can also prove badly for both guys, because Gervonta now wants to really knock out Lamont Roach, but that could also, especially if he's not having good camps, or especially if he's still on some, petty BS, then he's going to walk in there and be like, okay, no, I'm really going to take care of you. I'm not going to fuck around in the first round, because he literally even said that he didn't even know what round it was. But he's probably going to come in and be like, okay, I'm going to try to end it. And he might get caught with something, with a counter, right? But also, Lamont Roach could do the same. Could be like, yeah, I'm not going to leave this to the judges because clearly everybody failed me last time. So let me just try to also get this guy out of here, because I know I had him walking back and I landed some really good stuff on him. So let me ump that up now with more confidence. But then that also could mean him leaving himself open. So I'm excited for a rematch. Tank said that he was supposedly going to fight Jake Paul, who was in his room in his locker room, before the fight. And that's strange, but I guess now he's like, nope, so no more retirement. No more retirement now. And now no more Jake Paul, I guess. Now it's hopefully Lamont Roach, but who knows? Shakur Stevenson was also ringside trying to get that smoke, and it's just a lot with Tank, man. It's a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my shit, so the shit was like, like when you sweating and things like that, and the grease come in my face, and it burned my eyes, type shit. Damn, why y'all boys like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. I just got my hair done 2 days ago.
Swing the remix, guys!
I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she put grease in my shit. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she put grease in my shit. I just got my hair done. 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 Why y'all going like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Like, this is real facts. Why y'all going like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. It burnt my eyes. Like, this is real facts. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done 2 days ago.